Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 165.
165.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
Always changing inventory. If you mention Mousesteps at the stores or online, you'll get 10% off. So we always like a good deal, too.
And the holidays are coming up, Christmas and any other holiday you celebrate. And
that's right.
That's like next
and
month.
Halloween. Halloween just happened.
Well, you're not buying for Halloween.
Why not?
I
Halloween
guess
is good year round.
And Pixie Vacations. We're going to be talking about the Osborne Lights this year because we did go, and this is a time to book your vacation if you haven't yet for Christmas.
Right, it's now or never for the Osborne Lights. It's the last year, so I would make sure to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
And also our official ticket agency, Maple Leaf Tickets. Check them out. The best deals on tickets in town.
And theme park tickets make a great holiday gift.
That's true. That is very true. Anyway, we're going to start the show. This show is all about when holidays collide.
Yes.
Because really, everything in the show takes place around the 3 days, Halloween Eve, Halloween, and the 1st of November. So we're going to start off looking at some of the cast member pumpkins display. And here we are at the Art of Animation. And what do we have here?
This is Anger. This is at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. We went there and Pop Century on the same day. They had just put out their pumpkins. And this one I bet this one won because it's just so big. I think sometimes the biggest ones win because there's so much put into them. But there were some other great pumpkins too.
Very impressive. I mean, every year we look forward to going and seeing all the cast member pumpkins. A lot of Star Wars. You'll notice there's quite a bit of Star Wars. Here's a little R2-D2 pumpkin. I'm just amazed at some of the imagination, creativity that goes into some of these things.
And Anger reminds me a little of Heat Miser also. So
now, if they had Heat Miser,
that would be awesome.
That would be tremendous. Most of these cast member ones are Disney themed. It seems.
I like the Sadness one. It's simple, but it's really effective. You kind of look at it and say, "Oh, sadness," and even has the sweater underneath.
Yeah, the sweater, right? And here's an AT-AT from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, all collapsed into the snow. So very good. Another great pumpkin.
Well, I'm glad you knew what it was because I wasn't quite sure. And this one is the one I actually voted for.
Your favorite. That's
it
right.
is. And it does not say Save 2D animation on the back, but it has a lot of other of the bumper stickers. They did Photoshop is what we were told to make these stickers that look just like the ones at the Art of Animation Resort.
Right. That is Fillmore, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned who it is, but if you notice, he even glows inside.
I thought that was really well done.
Very nice touch.
That was my favorite here, although many of them were really excellent.
So now we're going to go run over to the Pop Century, and there's a Madame Leota, and her head is kind of sparkly there. That's another great pumpkin.
That's a really good one. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I voted for Jack Skellington.
Well, Jack, we're about to see. Jack was very impressive.
But it's hard sometimes to know which ones to vote for because sometimes you have several that are just so good.
And if we do find out who the winners are, which we probably will, and if you know who the winners are, please leave them in the show notes.
I believe,
or not the show notes, the comment section.
I believe I saw online that Jack Skellington won this one, and there is Olaf, and we had Stitch. And Olaf is holding his head.
Well, that's probably for the best. But here comes Jack Skellington now. So you said this one
is
the winner?
Yes, I saw somebody's Instagram post about it and said that this was the winner. And this was the one I voted for. Oh. But there were many really good ones. But I like this one.
They seem to come out later than ever this year, I have to say.
I know. Some of them didn't come out till Halloween Eve. And, some did come out earlier, but most did not. So I was very surprised at that.
It's nice that the resorts have these special things, sort of like for Easter. A lot of the resorts have Easter egg decorating displays of this.
Well, you have gingerbread during Christmas at many resorts, but not all resorts do that. So I especially like the cast member creations. I do. Obviously, we love the Beach Club Carousel during Christmas, but I really like the cast member ones because it shows the creativity.
So now we're going to run over to the Boardwalk, and here we go. Boardwalk Cast Contest.
This was a smaller display than they have had in previous years, but there were, a number of really good entries as well.
Yeah, there were a few standouts. They have switched over to the not real pumpkins in the last few years, except for Fort Wilderness still uses the real pumpkins.
Well, Fort Wilderness had some that were not real as well, But I'm not sure about Disney's Contemporary Resort if they did anything this year. Last year they did real, and I used to be kind of against doing the fake pumpkins, but the ones at the Contemporary were kind of, collapsing.
By the time we got to them last
right.
year, they were rotted.
Right. Well, not all of them, but some of them were not in good shape.
That was one of the favorites that we posted, the Mickey's Ice Cream Bar, for
right.
whatever reason.
Well, that was the biggest one as far as when I put them on Instagram. That was the favorite. So, and then they have the Orange Bird.
I like the Space Mountain personally. The Orange Bird is pretty cool, but I don't know. I think Space Mountain would be my choice. I think that's what I voted for.
It is weird to talk about Halloween today after we just spent like
5
6 hours
or
whatever.
was it 6 hours?
It was a lot of hours yesterday at Disney's Hollywood Studios enveloped in the holiday.
In Christmas goodness. So let's not jump ahead, but they will see that we were fully enveloped in the Christmas spirit.
Well, I mean, we've had 2 months of Halloween here, so it's almost like Halloween Day is just the entryway into Christmas the next day.
Right. So, these were tremendous.
Okay, the Port Orleans, both Riverside and French Quarter, their pumpkins were spectacular. And I think they said they had a contest, so they really went all out. And there's a Muppet one. And I thought that there was not anything that was... They all look like they put a lot of time into them.
Yeah, these are absolutely the best. And there is Mr. Scrooge there. Now, you said they have a contest. Don't they all have a contest?
No, I mean, it sounded like they may have had an internal contest.
Oh, a real contest.
For the cast. That's what it sounded like.
Another BB-8 there?
Right. There's 2 BB-8s, one at each resort.
Oh, I guess we haven't gotten to the other
yet.
BB-8.
And this one is another Inside Out.
And that's wonderful because you could see her head there and all the emotions. I think that's a very creative, great job.
Right. And it was hard to choose a favorite among all of these. And there is Genie.
Aladdin, right? We just watched Aladdin, and I think we interview Linda Larkin, the voice of Jasmine, very recently.
I think we posted a little bit of that as well
on a previous show. Oh, one of my favorites, the popcorn pumpkin.
I thought that one was really. I guess that's real popcorn. I didn't even think about it at the time.
And real candy there too. I think this was your favorite, though.
This was absolutely my favorite because there's so many. Like each area has so much detail.
And a real clock. That was the correct time.
Oh,
I didn't know that came in very handy to get over to Fort Wilderness.
You're telling me that now, but I had no idea.
It doesn't do you any good now, does it?
But that was a beautiful one, very artistic.
Anyway, getting back to what you were saying earlier about the seasons and everything, we have been doing Halloween since maybe the first week into September. So by maybe the second week of October, we're almost done. We're ready for Christmas. So it's not that outlandish that we had Christmas on November 1st.
Well, actually, after the second Halloween party, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just getting close to Christmas, because you're kind of, I don't know, I just felt like that.
So by December 1st, we'll be ready for Flower and Garden.
Yes.
So I wonder if it's like that for the rest of the country, if Halloween and Christmas happens early. Probably not.
I wouldn't think so, but I have no idea because I've lived here for over 30 years now. And we're looking at the Port Orleans French Quarter. The candy apple was the one I voted for, but
the Bride of Frankenstein Minnie. Look at the hair. Look at that hair.
They're all great. It's really, I think there were actually 3 categories I could choose, and Minnie was one of the ones I chose. And then of course the candy apple I think was like an overall favorite.
Well, anyway, that's it for looking at the pumpkins. I hope we didn't go too long, but I just thought it would be interesting to show. I mean, they're so creative. Cast members do a great job. Anyway, our Halloween Eve tradition is always at Fort Wilderness, and we are here at Campfire. And here are Chip and Dale in their vampire and pirate outfits.
Right. We always enjoy meeting them, and there's never a guarantee that they'll be here in costume, but it wasn't actually as busy as I thought it would be on that evening, but it was nice to see them again.
Yeah, it was great, and we started our evening at Trails End to Go. Actually, there's a new name. We talked about that.
Yeah, P&J Southern Takeout.
Right, and that was great. And then, of course, we're over here at the campfire, and Chip and Dale are playing games and stuff with the kids. This was the early meeting. They're going to come back in a few minutes and have their, the actual show portion. And there was a special surprise, and that's the reason we were there. We're going to get to that very soon. And they have their spooky Halloween pumpkin going on there. And here comes the special surprise. They bring Chip and Dale up. And but the cowboy stops because they hear some strange sounds going on. And why don't you tell exactly what's happening here?
Well, the Headless Horseman is coming. So they obviously Chip and Dale are really scared. And
They
they're
look
hiding,
very scared.
hiding behind him.
Who is
And,
this horseman coming?
He comes in a blaze of fog.
That's for sure. It truly was a blaze of fog this year, wasn't it?
Yes, and like a few of my pictures, you couldn't see anything. Like I got some good pictures, and then all of a sudden, it's like you got fog.
But how awesome is this? I mean, this is an unadvertised surprise. It was a nice bonus for everybody at the campground, and I think it's a great way to kick off the Halloween weekend.
And each year they will not tell you if he's going to come.
They denied. A couple of them denied that there was no horseman coming tonight.
Well, I mean, you never know.
Right.
So when you're sitting there, you don't know if you're going to get a horseman or not a horseman, which is fine. I mean, we really just love being at Fort Wilderness for Halloween and seeing the decorations. So this was always a special surprise when they do have him.
And Chip and Dale seem very relieved that the horseman has taken off. That's right.
Into the fog.
Into the fog. So again, it was a great time. As always, we enjoyed it. And the best part is after we get to watch the Ichabod movie on the big screen, and that makes it a fun night as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we get to see Ichabod every year.
There we are. There we are with the vampire. Is that Chip or Dale?
That is Dale because Chip has a chocolate chip nose.
Right, and Dale has the meatball nose.
Yes.
And here it is. Here's a couple screen shots of watching the movie. So
and this
it's
really
great.
This really put us like in the Halloween mood, which was broken, 2 days later.
Well, the very next day, Halloween itself, we were back at Fort Wilderness for our favorite thing, the Fort Wilderness Halloween Golf Cart Parade. And here comes the parade with Woody kicking off the festivities.
And we have never, ever seen it so busy here, like for anything, especially the golf cart parade.
We've been doing this a long time, and I think it was because it's a Saturday.
That's at least part of it. I mean, they had maybe more carts than they've ever had. And also, like, the area that I usually stand in, which usually has nobody in it, was packed.
Well, they had a DJ with audio equipment there, and all those years we've recorded it, and they've never. Oh, that's a cabin, by the way, in case you're wondering what is going by.
And here comes Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch is throwing out lots of candy, by the way. If you like candy, this is a good parade to attend.
And what happens with the golf cart parade? There's like 3 Star Wars carts.
That looks like Darth Vader's
TIE Fighter,
right? His personal TIE Fighter, right?
These are all created by the guests at Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground, and some put a lot of effort and time into it. I know we've talked to some who've spent months on them, so they're really incredible. There's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh, now, this is quite an interesting entry right here.
The skeleton on a toilet. And I didn't even realize that was a skeleton on a toilet until I went back to see my pictures. I was like, I don't think I saw the skeleton on the toilet this time.
The thinker. He is the thinker.
I think they have been here before. Like some of the ones that we saw were recognizable from previous years. I think that one.
Well, we certainly have not seen the Dunkin' Donut Mobile. No. I think that's wonderful. I think they won one of the prizes, most creative or something like that.
Well, they probably, and you know what? Dunkin' Donuts gets a really great,
nice plug.
Yeah, great advertising from it.
Here's a Finding Nemo with actual bubbles. There's Marlin there. Wide World of Sports. I mean, this is just outstanding.
It's really fun. I think it took almost a half hour for all.
Yes, it was a half. I had to really cut hard to make it reasonable for our show today.
And there is another a TIE Fighter, and I had said any longer, and they would have needed some kind of a break for everybody, like a restroom break or something.
Well, of all the years we've been doing it, and I'll link to previous parades if people are interested. I have never seen so much Star Wars.
It was a lot of Star Wars. I've never seen really hardly any Star Wars. And this one was a very favorite on my Instagram, the monorail.
Right. The monorail is great. And here is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I look at the sneeze effect there. They got it down. And that is a very good hag. I have to give them credit. They did a fine job here. Excellent.
The hag was kind of turned away from me, so I didn't get a good picture of the hag. But at least you got, some good video.
Well, see, there you go. You can see her face really good right there.
I didn't get it.
I'm sorry. I am
It's
sorry
okay.
about
That's a good one though.
Oh, the Griswolds, our official sponsor, will appreciate this because it is the Griswolds right here.
There's a lot of Griswolds on bikes. I didn't know, like, that's a lot. That's like a big family reunion right there.
It sure is. And then if you'll notice, there's even another little float with more Griswolds there. So
Like a couple dozen.
yeah.
And you have Baymax driving and Baymax on the roof, both.
Yeah. Yeah, how does that work out?
And yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. And then you have the cheese heads
Yes,
here.
the Cheeseheads. We met the Cheeseheads. They're very nice. We just talked about their campsite last week, so it was great to meet them in person. Oh, here we go. It is a Haunted Mansion mobile.
I thought that was fun. That was
Pedal
a little
power.
different. It's not like a regular golf cart.
Right. Oh, and what is this? Oh, I forget the name, but it's also from The Empire Strikes Back. It's that big...
I had no idea what it was.
Oh, boy. Banta.
Oh, okay.
Banta from The Empire Strikes Back. I think. Haunted Mansion.
I am not that familiar with Star Wars, so I'm not up on all the names.
Your favorite, it's the Minion.
I love Minions.
But Minion shaking Mickey's hand, and he's wearing Mickey ears. How cool was that?
One in
I
a
loved
Minion.
it. One in a Minion is right.
And this was great. This there's actually 2 Toy Story carts and
Herbie?
Yes.
An
and
abundance of goodness is what this
there was
parade
a lot
is.
of good-
It was
and there's
hard
a
to
witch
cut
on the
this
back.
down. Oh, and here is a transport,
bus.
the bus, one of the Walt Disney World buses. And it's funny because these people next to me were telling them, "Oh, can I get in? Will you give me a ride?" And they said, "No, it's not an official stop."
Well, they were telling everybody they were full, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
well,
yeah, that's a good
I'm
one,
surprised
too.
they're just not telling you to stand up.
Now look at this. This is unbelievable. I like how the young Elsa is watching.
They
on.
won.
Yeah,
They did win.
They were the winners.
I think
yes.
they were overall winner.
And I think they're the same family who won the pet parade, which we didn't have time to show.
I think the Coffin won the pet parade, but I think they may have won something as well.
No, they won the pet parade.
Did they?
The Coffin was third. The Coffin was third, and they
really?
won. Yes, we'll link to the pet parade.
I
You
didn't
must watch
realize
the
that.
pet parade.
Okay, well, we don't always get to see who wins, so
Right,
unfortunately.
right. And here is one of the camp sites here. All the campsites, or almost all of them, are decorated for Halloween. It's a wonderful time to just walk around and see how creative. I mean, this reminds me of being at Disneyland for the Paint the Night parade. What a fantastic
Yes.
job.
And that is Mac from
Yes.
Cars.
That's right. So, we're just kind of running out of time here. We have a lot to cover, so we're not going to show a lot of campsites. But Halloween was fantastic. We had a great Halloween at Fort Wilderness, and I can't recommend it more. But the very next day, less than 24 hours, it is the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Yes, and we met Santa Goofy, who is now there from 10 a.m. really till close of the park, except for a break.
So this year, Santa Goofy is in an all-new location, and this is where the tram tour used to be. Most recently, Mickey was meeting here. But
Sorcerer Mickey.
Sorcerer Mickey. But I find this to be a great place for him, especially because it's very dark where they used to have him, where the Osborne Lights were, and this is perfectly lit. You're far. It's great. And Santa Goofy is always awesome. I loved it.
Well, it also isn't as cramped back here for the line, where it definitely felt cramped when we would be in line for him in the other location. So it was, they made a whole new backdrop for him. He didn't really have a lot of a backdrop, I don't think, before.
Yeah, you can see it's civilized.
Civilized.
Very organized here. So we loved it. And again, there he is. That's a nice picture you took of Santa Goofy.
It's hard to believe we've already met him, and it's just, now it's
November
November
1st.
2nd.
Right. So, but we've not seen the last of him because right now they're going to do the Osborne Lights. For the first time this year, they're setting up for the official lighting.
And there is a light switch, and they're going to pick a family to flip the light.
And there is the family. They look very happy. And the mom is kind of pointing out that it is starting to snow. And we're going to kind of pan around. You can see there's a big crowd here waiting for the official lighting of the Osborne Lights.
Now, the official grand opening of the Osborne Lights is actually the 6th, and this was supposed to be like a pass holder cast member preview time these 5 days leading up to that, but they ended up just opening it to everybody. That's what we were told by a couple of different people here.
And it was not crowded, actually. It's a great time to go. It's not really publicized, so of course we're not helping with the situation, but if you're in the area, now is the time, because as soon as the official day becomes the 6th, it'll be very crowded.
I think it's going to be a lot more crowded this year than ever before.
And here he is. Here's our friend Santa Goofy again. Without Santa Goofy, the lights don't go on. So
I don't think that's true.
He has the power.
I don't think that's
Well, you
true.
will watch. You will watch this. Watch this. He is going to show the family, and flick of the switch.
There
we
goes.
go. So the Osborne Lights are officially started on November 1st for the final 2015 final season.
And I think it's great that they started it early
Oh,
because
absolutely. We met we met two people last night that had they not had it on the first, they would have never seen it ever in their life.
And I think that's awesome. I mean, I forgot, that we had talked to a couple of different people about that. We met so many people yesterday.
Yes, it was wonderful though. I mean, we were there from as you saw, from the lighting, and at the end you'll see we were there for the lights out. So we met a lot of friends and a lot of viewers and things like that. So it was wonderful to talk to so many nice people last night.
And many who just recognized the Instagram. So it's so many different. It was really awesome. But it's always nice to see the Osborne Lights, and sometimes we don't get to this till later in the season because of the Christmas parties and such.
So here is a new area. Actually, it's not completely new. They had it last year. They had a dessert party last year, and they will be having dessert parties again on some nights, and they also will be having a full dinner buffet on the very last 3 nights of the Osborne Lights in this location, and we did purchase that for the last night. So we will be here for Lights Out, and I can't wait. This looks like a great place. I mean, what a location, right under the giant Earth. I can't wait for that. Although it'll be sad because it'll be the last.
That
night.
Will be I think it will be nice, but it will be very sad because we've both been coming to these since the beginning.
Right, and it's our tradition on Christmas night every year we come here together and enjoy the Osborne Lights. So yes, it'll be sad to see it go. I hope to see it reappear in some form, but I'm not really counting on anything there.
And we need to find a new Christmas night tradition.
So it turns out the train here was not there last year. We found out last night.
I forgot.
I didn't even realize. I mean,
it's a year later,
right? So I'm glad they brought the train in for one last time. They did not phone this in, by the way. I think it's the best year ever from what we saw.
Well, they threw everything but the kitchen sink this time into the Osborne Lights.
And the Halloween cat, which was pretty close to actually being Halloween. We're not going to show you where it is, but even if you figure it out, it'll be moved, we were told, for the the official opening.
And there is Tinkerbell it says 20 underneath for the 20th year. And then we have some angels. I believe this is a nativity, which I didn't even photograph yesterday. I think half the time I was talking to people, so I didn't get everything. But the nativity is back in the location that it used to be in.
Yeah, this is the location where it's been the most ever since it went over to New York Street there. So.
And we're under the Peace on Earth globe again.
Right, making our way over to the side street there. Oh, and there is the umbrella that has water that usually comes down over it during the day.
Isn't that the Singing in the Rain?
Singing in the Rain, that's right.
And I don't remember it being lit before. I'd have to go back and check pictures.
I don't remember that we just saw the billboard.
No, that was not there before. There's a lot that is different this year. And these dogs, there used to be 2 dogs, and all of a sudden you have 12 dogs.
They multiply, don't they? Every year.
And then they added the little reindeer ears and other little accompaniments.
And there's a lot of hidden Mickeys on these Dalmatians, by the way, if you're into that kind of thing. Naughty.
Yes.
Naughty, that is not
And
very
you have
good.
nice, naughty and nice. Naughty wants to go inside, but obviously Naughty's not getting inside. Nice might get inside later.
I love that. I love your little story there. So now we're going to see a couple Jack Skellingtons, actually 3 Jack Skellingtons, all from the very same area.
That one was new.
That's brand new. This is one that happens in the lights, and there he is. There's Jack.
And I think that started last year.
That did start last year when they added the What's This song. And there is the original Jack Skellington balloon that has been there for many years in front of the funeral director's house.
I did not see that yesterday. And I mean, I've seen it
I know
every
why
year.
you did. I'll tell you why.
Why?
The line for the photo pass goes right in front of it, so you could never get over there. So I did that at the very end, right?
Okay.
And there is Baby Sinclair, but a side view of Baby Sinclair, and here he is from the front. And I didn't notice it says 2015.
I didn't know that either. I'm going to have to look at my pictures and see if I have that.
Yeah, so sometimes you notice things
well, later.
when you're looking back at your video or picture. So that's really cool. That's a nice touch.
And then you have the leg lamp in the background.
I don't have a good shot of the leg lamp, but it was there, trust me. And there he is, Stitch.
Now, usually this tire is completely empty. It's always been empty, and now Stitch is inside. They added some plush through the exhibit.
Yeah, you're going to see
display.
lots of plush mixed in with the lights, and I think that added a Disney flavor to it. Again, they did not scrimp on this last year. There's things, all sorts of new things.
And when they could have gone either way, they could have just let it kind of stay the same, or they could have plussed it, and they plussed it. There is Roger Rabbit. And I thought that was a little fun touch, too.
Yeah, that was a great touch. And I think he's right in front of the Chinese restaurant there. And there's the delivery bicycle that he is riding in. So that'd be a nice delivery to get Roger to your house.
I don't know where they found the Roger plush. I don't know if that's something you can just buy.
We have one. A
Do we have
vintage one? Yes, we do. And
I
I think
didn't know
you're going to see over to the side there, Mr. Potato Head, Santa, Mr. Potato
yes.
Head. So always cool. And this is new for this year, the barbershop pole.
And I guess I was told it took a long time to get this working just right. They really put a lot of effort in this year.
And we're about to see Mickey and Minnie having a little, I guess, a picnic.
With Anna and Elsa cups.
That's right. Well,
and Olaf.
Mickey's cup of choice is Olaf, and Minnie likes the Anna and Elsa frozen cup, obviously.
I didn't even notice that. Jeff came over to me and he's like, hey, they have frozen cups.
I like their cooler full of Coca-Cola.
I wonder if Coke
We could
paid
switch
for
it
that.
all with Pepsi as a prank or something. But yeah, that was another great. There's just so many touches this year.
And it looks like Goofy's having a nap.
Goofy
inside
is
the
a
plane.
limited edition, isn't he?
Yes. And there is Olaf.
In case you didn't get enough Olaf.
Another Olaf at the top of these stairs. So I'm sure there's stuff that we haven't even seen yet.
Oh, no doubt.
I can't even imagine what I haven't seen. I'm sure we've seen a lot of the main things now.
So now we're going to move back onto the main street and try to find all the little hidden things that we can find there. Again, beautiful every year. This is an iconic rotating item here.
Yeah, item. I don't know, like a wheel.
That was tough.
It's like a wheel. And here is they made this new this year, and it's Tony's, and it's set up for Lady and the Tramp.
I wish this could have been here to enjoy for years. How awesome. I mean, what a wonderful touch there. And you have the bowl of spaghetti and the 3 meatballs. You could just imagine that Lady and Tramp enjoying their dinner at the table here.
Wouldn't it be great if they put like Lady and the Tramp out?
And it says Tony's Restaurant on the little glass of, I guess it wouldn't be wine. Do dogs drink wine?
Well, do they eat spaghetti and breadsticks?
They do in the movie. But yeah, I think that was a great touch.
And this is something you could easily miss because it's behind a fence. So if you just walk by the fence, you're not going to see it.
Very true. We were there for the whole production last night, and I bet we missed some things. So.
And here are the stockings for the actual Osborne family, including Jennings at the top with the hidden Mickey in the middle.
The founder, and here is some special merchandise.
Well, Mickey, I think we've seen before, but you have the Osborne Lights cup, which will make a nice souvenir this holiday season.
I think we'll be getting one of those. And if you notice, there's little light bulbs up there. So if you bought a cupcake, you can get a special cupcake with a light bulb stuck in it. Light bulb cupcake. How cool.
And some beer and wine.
Yeah, that's right. Star Wars, of course, makes a appearance, a little reference in the windows there.
To the Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Santa, and I believe he is on the library. Obviously, it's not a real library, but...
One of my favorites, this brand new Kermit. Look at how great that one is.
We almost totally missed him. He was in kind of a tricky spot, and somebody else that we know was like, oh, there's Kermit.
That's right. I'm so glad that they pointed that out. Here is a nice little tribute to the Osborne family, and there's a TV screen that shows the history of the Osborne Lights.
Right, from the original Residential Street.
Well, actually, it goes back to Little Rock. The
does
original
it show
Little
that
Rock
too?
days.
I think I missed that part.
From Little Rock to Residential Street to New York Street, and hopefully there'll be a new chapter someday, I would hope.
I hope so. Even if it's like Epcot or Disney Springs.
There was a Jennings Osborne with Mickey down there. What a great picture.
It's hard to believe it's been, 20 years. I remember Residential Street and, walking down and seeing the lights there.
I remember that too. So we've seen the evolution. There is the Little Rock version. You could still see the globe there. So a great time, a really great time at the Osborne Lights. I'm so glad we were there. We're about to see the lights go off now. This is the very end of the night, and I think it was about 10:30. So it was.
And that was it. It's because it was the extra magic hours. It was a very hard close at that point.
So you have seen holidays collide, literally collide here in just 2 days. Is going to continue because we'll be at the first 2 Mickey's Very Merry Christmas parties coming up less than a week from now. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. Thanks to Pixie Vacations. give them a call or send them an email and just let them know you're interested in a trip, especially to see the Osborne Lights.
Right. And also Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency. We appreciate them very much. And our original sponsor, Theme Park Connection. That's another show.
That's another show.
Thanks, everybody, for watching, and have a great week.
Have a great week.